thank God. I'm spiritual. She asked me what I'm finna do. I say get into you. Now I'm one leg up, followed by the other. Get a little head, then I'm out of rubber. We don't talk on the phone, we type a text. That means she sent a few flicks and I sent a check. You remember Sean Duggan when they had a hump? Good head on her. You can learn a lot. Hey y'all. Faces on the phone, can't get you out of my mind. Baby, are you feeling me? I'm feeling you. Everything you say and everything you do, yes, you want everything is out of sight. Oh, happy solar return, Patricia. Y'all wish Patricia happy solar return. Happy birthday. Totally, my nigga. Hey, Rational Kids. Ellie. Yeah, this that titty boy. Y'all know when 2 Chainz used to call himself titty boy. I remember listening and being like, titty boy. Lot I know you heard of me. Hair weed killers, emergency. Hair weed killers, I murder weed. Hey, hi, Mike. The cult group, yes. I mean, if y'all have information on what's the girl named Angela? If y'all know Angela's birthday, feel free to slide it in my message at Astro World, Astro WERLD at gmail.com. Because I mean, I've heard about it. I'm not gonna lie, like obviously cults exist, right? Cults do exist. Um, but I just have a hard time taking it seriously. Not saying I don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? People are capable of anything. Shorty's kind of weird. She seems like she kind of weird. She ain't even really my type. I don't like studs for one, but she does. She has a little weird vibe to her. Like I just don't put anything past her. Is what I'm saying. But at the same time, yeah. Like, am I chuckling? Like, do I find it funny? Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like it's not a cult. Not like bitches cutting themselves and that. So apparently, for those of y'all who aren't aware, okay, let me bring you up to speed. So on TikTok, there's this girl. She's a stud. And her name is Angela. She used to be fat, but she lost a lot of weight. She got some color contacts, and got a just for me perm. And somebody said she got some husky contacts. She like a little blue eyed husky, but she threw a perm in her head, some slits in her eyebrows, and put on a filter. And she started, making a what you call it? Fuck me like you want it. No baloney. Uh, but all the thirst trap songs, the TikToks with all the thirst trap songs, and that's her thing. Like she be thirst trapping all the gay girls, okay? And so, yeah, apparently, like, cause she's like she loves BBW. That's another thing. Let's talk about that. Cause like I feel like it's popular now. Like what I'm saying, like to fetishize fat women. But she's one of those girls who make it very clear, like I like big girls. And because all the big girls is desperate. Not all the big girls, let me stop saying that. A lot of the big girls are desperate. I'm not gonna lie. All aren't. That's not true. All big girls are not desperate. Shit, I'm not desperate. All big girls are not desperate, but a lot are. And because a lot are, people like her and people who make it known that they lust over big women, like, people throw themselves at you. And some of the girls, when I looked at some of the girls who like was really just going up for her, it's not even that they be big, really. It be like you big and funny looking. Like you big and you weird looking. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna leave that alone. We're not gonna talk about people looks. But Point is, it came out she got the girls in the cult. She be telling bitches to cut themselves and call her God. It's just I just don't take it seriously because it's like maybe it's just hard for my mind to fathom being in a situation where somebody got that much control over me, especially like people that you don't know. They say girls be sending her money on the internet, and it's just that's pretty much that. That's pretty much that on now, and it's kind of weird. Kind of weird. I'm a bit well. I'm bigger. Well, whatever. I'm bigger. I'm bigger. I say big is subjective too, because my big is like when I say big, I mean like if you were 14 and up, you know what I'm saying? That's me. if you were a 14 pants and up, you know what I'm saying? Somebody else's big maybe like 20 and up. Like I don't know. But that's my big. And I also have like body, what you call it, dysphoria. So, touche, touche, but I ain't little. So I ain't petite. Far from it. Far from it. The girls are sending rent money. Yeah, sending money. And I'm just, like I said, I understand there's a psychology and like the whole point of cults is that like they prey on people who are very weak minded and people who are vulnerable and people who it could be the elderly or people who a person could be going through a bad breakup or like I said maybe a real big girl at home she weighed 350 400 pounds, you know what I'm saying, she ain't got no attention from a nigga since 1976 and you look up and you see a woman who I could see how somebody would deem her as attractive. She not my type, but it's like, oh my God, she likes big women. Like, I want to be a part of this. I don't know. I don't know how like the intricate details on how it runs, but it's interesting. So everybody calling her out on it, child. I'm like, Lord, she's a Leo. Um, well, I mean, there's that. There's that. There's that. She okay, narcissistic. Okay. I mean, all fixed signs have the potential to be cult leaders. Um, it's just what it is. But yeah, I can see that. I mean, Leo is the king, right? Or it's symbolized by the lion, the king of the jungle. Leo is very dark sided. Leos can be very tyrannical. You know what I'm saying? And if she got other placements in her chart that are conducive to that, I could see her. I could see that running some type of cult. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. How you form a cult online? How you fall prey to some pixels on your screen? Not natural selection. They said she got bitches cutting they stuff and everything. Life savings to scammers. Now, okay, y'all know I got stories. Y'all want to hear story time? Story time. And I'm gonna make myself look crazy because whatever. Look, what is what it is. We all got past. We all got a past. I ain't never claimed to be perfect. It is what it is. Judge it, man. Okay. And these bitches, well, I don't know how old they are. You know what I'm saying? This happened when I was in my early 20s. So I was young, dumb, and full of cum. So let me tell y'all about how I got scammy on it. I got scammy on it, not online. So what had happened was, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. So what happened was I was hanging out with who was I hanging out with? This was like a phase in my life because admittedly, I was a hoe. Okay, so when the way that I did my hoeing in college, in particular, I made my rounds. So I like to make my rounds based on athletes. Okay, my baby daddy was a football player. I couldn't really fuck with other niggas on the football team and be unclockable. You know what I'm saying? So I had to like leave that alone. But I switched teams. So I was like, and my baby daddy was cheating on me anyway. So I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna go to the basketball team and we're gonna see what's good. Like with the fellas over here. What you doing, guys? Huh? Woo! We're hooping today. So it's like, okay. And one of my homegirls, she was my little partner in crime, was talking to this guy on the basketball team. And he just so happened to be like a local, meaning he was from the area. And you know, he would have parties at his house. And one night I accompanied my friend to said party. And it was just a bunch of niggas in the house. And, you know, he had like a cousin who had just got released from prison standing off in the cut. We're gonna call him Isaiah. Isaiah was my type. Like Isaiah he was giving sexy ass nigga. Like he was tall, he was dark skinned. I do remember him being an Aquarius. So his son was in my fifth house, which that works. That's a perfect situation. Like for us to be just magnetic, I guess you could say magnetically attracted to one another. Sexual chemistry out of this world. So I was like, okay, okay. So come to find out, I think he did 5 years for like armed robbery or some shit. He was deep off in them trenches. He was a thug. I couldn't resist. So I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna waste my time with these because I was fucking with another basketball player, another dude on the team. But when I came across Isaiah, I said, you know what? I think I'm gonna tap him in. So Isaiah basically had just got out of prison, maybe like a few weeks before I had met him, and he was a career criminal. I'm not gonna hold you, but you could tell he was the type of dude who got money, meaning like I mean he was just that dude. Like he moved a lot of weight. Like he was just that dude, and he spent a lot of time hugging the block, like the New York niggas say. And me being the naive college girl that I was, I let him come to my dorm so he knew where I stayed. And we started off talking on the phone. Then he would come over, spend the night. I would tell the man all my business. So he knew I was getting a refund. Because y'all know if you've been in college, you get your little refund check. And so he hit me, all the ain't shit niggas hit you with the let me hold some and I can flip it. Now, mind you, the nigga done gave me money before, okay? He done gave me money. He didn't, not a whole lot of money. In retrospect, he wasn't a big meech. He probably had let me hold like $100, $150 before, which is at that time, I was like, oh my goodness. But so I'm thinking in my mind, like, okay, well, he's giving me money before. Surely, like, I don't know. I guess in my mind, surely he would be somebody who would be trustworthy, and what I'm saying, he's a stand up dude and he mean what he say. So let's say I don't remember the exact amount, but let's say my refund was $2,000, right? He was like, hey, let me get like a stack or something like that he asked for, which I wasn't that dumb. I was like, nigga, you was not getting $1,000. I think I gave him like 500. And according to him, he was finna flip it and do this and do that. And this is why this is prime game, because it's like, ladies, if your nigga if he got it like that, if he's just out here big meat Larry Hoover, he don't need your $500. He don't need your money to flip nothing, to make nothing flip, to do this, to stack. No, he got it already. So what is he asking you for money for? So my dumb ass gave him the money. And he played it off real well. Like we kept talking, nothing else really changed. And maybe like a few weeks later, like, yeah, maybe like 2, 3 weeks later, I noticed like the phone call slowed up, like, and he gave me, that's another thing too that I want to add. He gave me like 100 back. So now we $400 in the hole. That's another reason why I was also still kind of naive about it and still, on my like hoping for the best shit, because it's not like I gave him the money and he did. Like I gave him the money. We went to business as usual. And then like he gave me $100 and was like, oh yeah, whatever, I got you, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you a stat on this. The date came and it went, and I'm like, okay. And all of a sudden, I can't find a nigga no more. He go MIA. Like, but it was a delayed response. So he knew how to play that shit. And I lost my mind. I was so mad. And under normal conditions, I would have got my man to like rob a nigga or beat his ass, but I couldn't really tell my nigga what was wrong because then I would have had to explain that I was cheating. So y'all know that meme on TikTok or that TikTok where the dude was crying and it's like, but you can't tell what's really wrong with you. It was one of the I had one of those moments. Like I was crying, looking crazy, and my boyfriend was like, "What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?" I was so sick and disgusted. And then, long story short, maybe like 6 months later, he hit me up like talking about something. I'm so sorry. Like, I let me you know how when niggas that's another thing too, ladies, look out for this. When a nigga ghost you and try to come back with like an excuse or a story to tell, he full of shit. Like, don't believe it. Cause he tried to hit me up on something like, oh well, like basically the laws done caught up with him, or I don't know, like he tried to kick it like he went back to jail, which I know is a lie because you're a convicted felon, nigga. If you violated your parole, you're going back for fucking ever. Like you're not going to jail and coming right back out. You're going to jail and you're gonna sit there. So I don't even remember exactly what the law was, but it was by then it was over with. I cussed his ass out. I was like, fuck you, bitch. All the, I was saying all kind of shit. And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna come over. He threatened to come up and shoot my dorm, but I wasn't really that bothered because he ain't know I had moved by then. So, and that was pretty much that on that. But to this day, I still feel that L because it was like, wow, man, 20-year-old you gave a nigga some money. Wow, that shit was wild. Finesse, the ultimate finesse. Yes, like it was pretty pathetic. What's up, problem fave? Professional skin. Right, I would die. It was so sad. Nah, we be really going through shit though. So y'all be going through shit. But it's like if you really that cool, I don't really buy that. Like when people fall off the map. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a high maintenance person as a friend, it just in general. So I'm not one of those people who already be like, you gotta talk to me every day. You gotta talk to me round the clock. You gotta talk to me all the time. So if I say you tripping, you tripping. Like if you straight up, like if I go weeks without hearing from you and we normally talk, weeks or months, that you officially ghosted me. Like, and when you come back, I don't want to hear no story because I don't care what happened. All you had to do was communicate that, and that we was as cool as you claim we was. It would have been like that wasn't even the case with him. I already know that wasn't even the case. The nigga he jugged me. It was a finesse. Like it was already a jug finesse. Like the minute he went ghost, I was like, oh, jug finesse. Got my ass. Like I was sick, throwing up, shit and everything. I was so sick. Sick. I was sick. What asset in my chart made me fall for that? I got Neptune. I got Neptune square in my ascendant. in my third house. Neptune is in my third house and it's square in my ascendant. And when I was younger in particular, it used to make me so gullible. Like and then my Venus is squaring Neptune too. Like just gullible. Like that's literally somebody getting scammed about their money, Venus square Neptune. I was just gullible, like, oh, that's why I got Capricorn on the North Node. Because the older I get, I'm like, yeah, y'all niggas can't get over on me. You learn, you get wiser. You know what I'm saying? I'm hard on these niggas for a reason, but because when I was green, I was real green. Like and I will say this too. I was a late bloomer, not kinda. I was a late bloomer. So while all my homegirls was like really invested in like studying niggas, fucking niggas, doing this and that, I wasn't dating guys like that. I wasn't dealing with guys until I was actually in my 20s. And so Once I like at 20, 21, like you know what I'm saying, like I was just naive. I didn't have nobody. I didn't like my mama didn't sit me down and explain shit to me on how to, you know what I'm saying, how to engage niggas, how niggas should engage you. I didn't have no older sister. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really have nobody. Like I literally had to get in. I had an older cousin who was a Libra. Her son was in my first house, and we used to hang out all the time. Um, who was she worked at a she was a manager at this Kohl's right around the corner from my college. She was the only person who introduced me to like standards and like, yes, sis, like what the fuck, like, bitch, what is wrong with you? And with my North Node in my third house, it's just common sense. I'm not nobody who's always had common sense. It just is what it is. I've never really had common sense like that. Like I just growing up, I would just be like, oh, you think you take things for what they are at face value. Or I mean, even with me being a Sagittarius sun, I'm an idealist, and I can still be that way at times too. You see the best, like you know that blind optimism, blind faith, that shit'll bite you in the ass, big time. So yeah, I got a lot of things that point towards that, but as you just get older, you just know. Embarrassing. Prison based scamming. And that's true. Venus square Neptune, that's me attracting niggas in jail. I don't know what it is. Now I will say this. Yeah, he scared me, but I really didn't feel as dumb as bitches who like fall in love with a nigga while he in prison. I ain't never stooped that low. I ain't never been that dumb. Like I ain't never been that dumb and that desperate. But you know, I ain't never had no nigga down while he was in jail either. Cause the minute the police officer tell your ass to step outside the vehicle, nigga, I'm single. I'm back on the market. I'm making my Tinder account. I'm texting. I'm like I'm back on the streets. I'm back on the streets. The minute, sir, step out the vehicle, I'm back on the streets. Just that fast. Just that fast. Just that fast. Before he finished, like just that fast. Before your ass get in the motherfucking police car. They were like, you might as well go ahead and dub that, my boy. That shit is over with. Now that I will say, I wish I would hold a nigga down. I don't give a fuck what it is. When I Sagittarius moon, I always say things that, yeah, believe everybody is honest. Well, that's good. That's good, Ellie. Sun and Mars conjoin a woman's ascendant. I mean, it can make her a really good leader. She could have she could be a like an alpha woman. So she could have a lot of qualities that most people would associate with like, you know, masculinity in a way. But just in terms of like, I mean, they could be competitive, play sports. They could also make a person hypersexual as well. In some cases, bossy. In a lot of cases, actually bossy, selfish, egotistical, but also really good. Like, I mean, risk takers, right? That's a really good placement or a good configuration for entrepreneurs as well. You know, exciting people. Hold on, y'all. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna start at the bottom of the chat. Uh, what message, Raina? Mars squaring ascendant in Sinistry. I don't really like that because that could deal with where the Mars person could just be like where the ascendant person could really irritate the Mars individual, or where they could be like just really. I mean, on one hand, they can deal with physical. I mean, sexual attraction. I will say that, so you can create a lot of like sexual attention. But on the other hand, that person could be impatient, harsh, rough, inconsiderate towards that person in some cases, and I mean in a lot of cases it can even point towards like violence or just you know being at odds. No, I don't think Cardi B going to jail. She got too much money. Would I like for her to go to jail? Yes, but her constantly being in some type of legal dispute or whatever the case, that's all of that is very. I mean, it's a testament of her being a Libra, obviously, but especially with her Libra sun in opposition to that Aries moon, like her going back and forth to court based on like physical altercations and shit like that she done found herself in or arranged. But also she's a Sagittarius North Node, and that could be part of the course for a lot of those people too, getting caught up in the criminal justice system. But I don't think she's gonna go. She's not going to the slammer, bro. I don't think so. If she does, I would be very surprised. I would be very shocked and surprised. Just because she's when you are at a certain stage, and it's very clear that she still has that machine behind her, like that industry machine behind her. Now, if she's at a phase in her life or career where like she's washed up, the industry is tired of her, then that's when they start, what I'm saying, piling on your ass. So everything that you never did in your career, they finna come and collect, and your ass just might go to jail. But she's not there. Um, she's still very valuable. She's a big money maker. I would imagine she has a lot of connections. I just don't see her going to jail. Like, I just don't see her going to jail. Right? I don't. I'm gonna be really honest. I don't really have nothing to say about Boosie like that. I mean, I do, but nothing that hasn't already been said. If y'all haven't checked out my Boosie natal chart reading, go do that. I mean, wait till this live stream is over, then y'all can go do that. But I didn't address it there. If you are a Patreon family member, I did a tarot reading on Boosie in terms of why he's so triggered by Lil Nas, and it confirmed what I already saw within his natal chart. My man's he's tutti frutti. Okay, he's projecting his hatred of himself onto other people. And it's so funny because like I see like a lot of super woke people. Like I see like the social justice warriors and all like the politically correct wokianas out there saying like I wish I was when you try to make it seem like every person who's homophobic is really gay, you're trying to minimize the I guess I guess their argument is you're minimizing the harmfulness of homophobia because you're just trying to reduce it to somebody who has a crush on another person, and it also plays off of this idea that if boys like you, they're mean to you, and I don't like that when y'all say that a person is homophobic just because they like men. But I'm like, number one, everybody who's homophobic, I do agree with the fact that everybody who's homophobic, that doesn't necessarily mean that you like men. But when people make those or draw those correlations, especially in Boosie's case, it's not really speaking to, oh, if men like you, they'll be mean to you. So we're just normalizing that kind of that scope of social norm or social interaction is more so of pointing out the concept that people in general tend to project a lot of the things that they hate about themselves onto other people. I thought that was very simple. Like I thought that was a very simple concept. And it's a very common thing that happens that I think at some point we've all projected onto someone, especially if you have a lot of oppositions in your chart. If you have a lot of oppositions, excuse me, in your chart, you're bound to project at some point or another, or maybe even be projected on. But like as humans, we all project. It just is what the fuck it is. And though the most harmful projections are tied to things that like the more that you repress and resent something about yourself and hate something about yourself, it'll be easier to find that in other people. And the more that you like, I'll give you an example of me projecting. Like when it comes to women who are stupid. Now I just got done telling y'all how naive I was, right? I was green. Once upon a time, I was green. I was naive. I acted so much. I played so much into my Libra ascendant and Venus in terms of being overly accommodating, especially like when it came to like my partner or whoever I was with. Like I would bend over backwards and be so like, you know what I'm saying? Like almost like a doormat in a relationship and still not really be satisfied. With me having Aries on the descendant, I naturally attract selfish fucking people. So like, you know what I mean? Like I was just that's what I would do. I would alter my standards or whatever. And I took my nigga back after he cheated on me with my ex best friend. And I said all that to say I was a dumb bitch. I was a dumb bitch. So fast forward to 30-year-old Megan on today, when I see dumb bitches, the healed me is very empathetic and it's like, oh wow, like you're a dumb bitch. I'm so sorry. Like I remember being a dumb bitch. Come here, dumb bitch. Give me a hug, right? There's life beyond this. Let me teach you. Let me empathize with you. But when I be in projection mode, I be ready to roast and toast and smoke your ass. I be lighting these bitches up. Y'all hoes is dumb. And I just fell out with a best friend, like a really close friend of mine. And I can admit that I did a lot of projecting onto her too, because she's in a situation. She's actually been done for a long time. When it comes to niggas, she has Chiron in the seventh house of Leo. And as much as I love her, I know a lot of it is rooted in trauma, hence Chiron in in the seventh house of Leo. She does have a lot of trauma in general. But, like I would project onto her. So like whenever she would do something, I'm like, wow, you're really staying. So all of the things that I hated about myself when I was a dumb bitch, I'm attacking them because I see that in you. So it's almost like I'm attacking myself. If that makes sense, right? Like, you know, especially if I'm a person who hasn't really forgiven myself for being a dumb bitch. Put it like that. If I haven't really forgiven myself for being a dumb bitch or fully embraced the fact that I was a dumb bitch, I probably would spend a lot more of my time attacking women for doing things or making mistakes in love, or you know what I'm saying? Like, wow, bitch, you're stupid. You let a nigga do this. Oh, bitch. Oh, you you deserve whatever you get. Like, I mean, y'all get what I'm saying, right? So take that and apply that to a gay nigga. Like, duh, a nigga who like you literally deep down inside, your loins ache and quake for a penis, but you know that shit is so not right. Like you with every fiber of your being, you know good and well you would never come out in public with no shit like that. And everything that you've ever been taught, everybody that you've ever been around tells you that shit is trash. So whenever you see a nigga who reflect what you got inside of you, you gonna go in on his ass because you're mad at yourself. You haven't integrated that part of yourself yet. Do y'all get what I'm saying? It's I thought that was an easy concept. I'm not gonna say. I mean, I guess they could. Venus retrogrades. Uh, well, let me read the question. Because Camellia Canso says, "Can Venus retrogrades cause divorce?" I'm not gonna say they can. I'm not gonna say they can. It just depends. But I will say Venus retrograde can like bring up old issues in your relationship. You know what I'm saying? So like if you're already in a rocky relationship, even if you're in a relationship that could be semi healthy, I guess I could say, you may encounter situations or things within the relationship like a lot of, uh, either old people coming up or like, what I'm saying, like third party situations. Um, maybe something about your partner that you didn't know before could come to surface, or what I'm saying, like things like that. But and I guess they could technically, in some cases that could lead to divorce. But I don't know if I would just directly tie that in with like divorce. Like, oh, Venus retrograde. Yep, that can cause divorces. It just really, I guess it depends on how you handle it. I guess is what I'm trying to say. But if Venus is retrograde, yes, you can, especially if y'all are like already in a strained situation or haven't resolved, like fully resolved things already. Yeah. More a little dick every now and then. Ah. Uranus in negative aspects to Venus, or like if you got like Uranus um transiting or making contact with any planet in your seventh house or some shit like that, that would be more so like a divorce transit. Maybe even Pluto. Maybe even Pluto in negative aspects to a planet in your seventh house or something like that. Or a Venus Pluto transit or something. When I was a teenager, I used to project on women who are super emotional because I grew up with an abusive mother. It wasn't safe to be vulnerable. Ooh, and express your emotions. That's a good observation. What people do I attract if I have Libra on the descendant? You could attract a lot of very like accommodating friends and stuff. First of all, you could attract a lot of air signs, so Libras, Geminis, Aquariuses. But people who may be do a lot more willing to do more of the bending than you will. So like reciprocity could be a major theme in your relationship. So you may be a lot more selfish in the relationship than what you probably realize. Um, but it could just do where you attract people who kind of it also like Libra descendants I noticed could have this thing where like maybe a lot of their friends um or a lot of the people that they're with kind of go out of their way to I don't these are people who I notice can have a lot of yes men around them. Like a lot of Aries ascendants can have lots of yes men around them, from what I've observed. It's very easy. I mean, obviously, other things in the chart could apply, but you know, it's very easy for these people to find a lot of yes men. In my opinion, retrograde planets don't really matter that much until we start talking about like the larger planets. Maybe Saturn, but like They don't really matter that much. Because I mean, whatever could be indicated by a retrograde planet, you can kind of tell based on um other like the way that planet is aspected or whatever the case may be. So before you couldn't see my question, but does my Venus in Aquarius? Oh, y'all in this Lilith, y'all killing me now. Venus in Aquarius. Thank you for the super chat though. Um, Venus in Aquarius squaring my Lilith and Taurus in the seventh house means I attract leeching partners. It can make you the leeching partner. And it could deal with where despite you being somebody who could be like a lot more like on the surface, you may appear to be really like, non-conventional and not, all those things like, oh, I'm never gonna conform. Like deep down inside, those are people who like they may be a lot more conservative than they really let on, or like a lot of those like conservative and judgmental qualities you may even attract like by like the people that you hang around. So maybe you can hang around people who are, you know, greedy and judgmental and conservative and uptight and things like that. But it's like birds of a feather flock together. So if those are the type of people that you attract, especially in your seventh house, then you know there's a part of you that kind of resonates with that energy. And I noticed this too, a lot of people have been refuting the concept that you are what you attract. And like, have y'all heard that lately? Because people be like, I don't like when people say you are what you attract because I attract a bunch of losers. And, I just feel like I'm not a loser. And how could you say somebody is what they attract? Like, I feel like it just be another way for people to like evade accountability, is what I feel. Because on a literal level, when somebody says you are what you attract, obviously if you attract bums, it's not to say that you are a bum, but there's something about you that resonates with bum energy. So, I mean, you're a bum sympathizer. That's not that far away from being a bum or whatever the situation is. I do believe in it. I believe in it. And maybe you are who you attract. Maybe that's not the best way to put it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's like not the best way to describe the phenomenon, but it's something. You know what I'm saying? Like there's something about everybody that you attract into your life or that comes into your life. They come into your life based on the energy that you already resonate with. And a lot of times, especially when you think about astrology, this could be karmically induced. It could be based on your natal alignments. So just because you don't really identify with that energy, once again, like that's actually another really good example of like the difference between your ascendant and descendant. Like, yeah, your ascendant is what you identify with, but your descendant is what we tend to project onto other people. And there's a reason why it sits directly across from your ascendant, your house of I am. Like, yeah, you know, you can be like, yeah, I attract all these other type of people, but like what do we always talk about in polarities when we talk about polarizing signs, polarities? They are, yes, they may be different, but they do share a thread of commonality, and they can kind of be woven in together and kind of like bounce off of one another. So it's like, well, yeah, technically, I don't know, like you could say like, oh well, I'm not what I attract because I attract people who are the complete opposite of me. Okay, but they're still polarities still share a common thread of similarity. whatever that is, like an element that kind of still fuses or binds them together. Like you find in all, opposite signs. So like once again, I just like to use this example just because, I can use myself as an example, but with me having Libra on the ascendant, a Libra ascendant person, stereotypically, traditionally, we're not we're not really that confrontational. We're not really that, we don't really like too much drama, right? We can be peacemakers and overly diplomatic and what I'm saying, the moderators, the arbitrators. But and yeah, it can seem like yes, we do attract very selfish people, very confrontational people. A lot of our relationships, can move really fast, like that kind of thing, right? People who could be really just over the top, but and reactive, but we still share a lot of those qualities because it's like people, things happen in life that bring you into that opposite polarity for a reason. Like, you know what I'm saying? So a Libra ascendant could be real cool or seem like they real cool. And I think a lot of people, that misconception about that Libra energy in general, where it's like, oh well, Libra is passive and whatever, but Libra is also very strategic. Libra, there's nothing that really separates Libra from Aries but impulse control. But when if a Libra, calculates and does the checks and balances, and we, deduce that it's time to fuck your ass up, then bitch, that's what it's gonna be. Then I can hop into my Aries polarity, and then it could be up from there. Or if you're dealing with a person, especially if they have personal planets in your seventh house, they can bring that shit out of you as well. Like example, once again, my child's father was an Aries moon. Boom. Next thing you know, we're fighting like grown men. Put them up, put them up. Like it just. I said all that to say, you are who you attract. I believe it. I believe it. Basically, is the moral of this story. Is what I'm trying to say. Basically, pretty much. Um, you could attract dating people with Taurus in the seventh. Uh, Scorpio ascendants tend to attract reliable partners or people who they feel like they can depend on. They can also have very long, drawn out relationships with people. So a person who may not like you could be with a person for a really, really long time. Um, Even if the relationship ain't hitting on nothing or going nowhere, they can attract very possessive, territorial partners, a lot of like financially well off partners, conservative partners, or friends. This could even apply to like friends as well, artistic friends or partners. Um, Especially if you're a woman, that can kind of pan out because a lot of Scorpio ascendant women could attract like, the protector provider type of dude. Know what I mean? Or even as like if you're a man with Scorpio on the ascendant, maybe you could attract a woman who, what I'm saying, could be like a trophy material. A lot of these men are very drawn, like they can have a lot of female friends. They can be very drawn to, or they have very specific standards when it comes to women. Leo descendants, so Aquarius ascendants, tend to attract people who are a lot more loyal to them than they are to them, if that makes sense. So attracting friends and things like that who are a lot more devoted to you than maybe you would be to them, on if that makes sense. A lot of fire signs, so Leos, Aries, Sagittarius, um, people who could bring out the fun in you. Um, a lot of Leo on the bright side, Leo in the seventh house can produce a fun relationship or a fun friendship. Um, where or like somebody who could just be like a big kid where y'all are able to act like big kids together, or they could just be really childish, to be honest. They could also be very territorial and jealous. Um, for a lot of women with Aquarius on the ascendant, I noticed that they could either attract men who could be like bosses and CEOs. Sometimes even like women who date or people who date celebrities or really popular people could have Leo on the descendant. Um, or like I said, just people, especially men who could be like really established. Or you could just date like I said, men who you have to baby. Like a big kid, like literally like childish as, or maybe even young people where you just date people who are younger than you or something, or their energy, they have a very youthful energy. An example of this would be Nicki Minaj. All her niggas, she be treating her like, first of all, it's the fact that she called everybody her son. And that's very Leo seventh house. Like all these bitches is my son. Your seventh house of relationships. All these bitches is my sons, first off. But like the way she be in relationships with niggas, like what does Kenny Pettis have? What is his name? Kenny Pettis, Kenneth Petty, whatever. Y'all know what I mean. I'm a little drunk tonight. Excuse me if y'all hadn't been able to tell by now. But Kenneth Petty, Lord. Um yeah, like what can Kenneth Petty bring to the table? Nothing. He literally is like another child. A lot of Leo descendants tend to get married for the sake of having children too. I noticed that, or into relationships and be like, I'm a choose this person because I want a baby with him or her. I see that a lot as well. So there's that. Probably Leo Rich. I still want to know Nikki gave Kenny the money to buy her a ring. Man, I feel the same way about the bars that I do Beyonce stand. I just stands in general, like stand-ups. They're disgusting. Like they're weird. It's something very demonic about having that strong of an attachment to somebody who would not even know. Like if you drop dead today, that bitch wouldn't know. She wouldn't care either. She don't know you exist. Your life, the quality of your life don't improve. You know what I'm saying? About defending them like your life on the line. Yeah, it's a control thing for sure. Especially with her being a Capricorn, South Node of Mars. Hmm. I just talked about Aries ascendants. Hood chick. Now she said she want a hood. I keep the by the pound. Gemini ascendants, aka Sagittarius descendants, tend to attract um, a lot of interracial relationships, a lot of long distance relationships. These are people who can date a lot of athletes as well. I noticed, or can have a lot of friends from all different walks of life. Um, People who may not necessarily be the best commitment or down, that could be a major theme. Or having partners or even friends who could be like fair weather friends, or partners where it's like really hard to kind of gauge where they are with shit. Maybe they always want to play the field, you know what I mean? But it could also deal with having relationships or friendships that could be centered around like a spiritual connection. So have very similar spiritual beliefs, political beliefs, and things like that. Yeah, a lot of people could They can meet a lot. They can either meet like their partners or really important people in their lives when they're in college too. I noticed. I didn't watch Squid Game. What? So what's to that? Like, what's up with that? Like, what was that about? I didn't watch Squid Game. He said, Gemini Rise, I just learned how to commit in my 30s. Don't judge me, hoes. Y'all don't know life. Period. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Listen, I don't shame. I don't blame. It is what it is. It is what it is. Sag Risings, aka Gemini Descendants. I'm gonna do a video on this actually, on what kind of people you attract based on your descendant sign. But Gemini descendants can attract a lot of Gemini descendants. I'm not even gonna hold you, can engage in like real crafty behavior. Like a lot of these are people who don't mind dating somebody's cousin or best friend. Like let's say you got a friend, like these are the friends that'll date your brother or something. Like oh we's best friends and then she dated my brother, or like shit in some cases shit she probably might fuck your man too, or like oh you know what, I was fucking with this dude but then I met his cousin, then I started fucking with his cousin. Like it'd be like shit like that. Or like they could meet a lot of their partners, like or even friends maybe in high school or middle school or something like that. Or they'll be the type to be like, oh yeah, you know, this is my homegirl Sarah. I knew her since we was in the third grade. Or oh, you know, this is my boyfriend. You know, we grew up in the same neighborhood. A lot of their partners or the people that they're with can have like a lot of similarities, eerie similarities to one another. With Gemini on the descendant, they could also get with people who could play a lot, play too much, and very similar to Sagittarius descendants. It could be that conflict in terms of commitment. You know, being able to find everything that you want in one partner could be hard because it's easy for these people to get sidetracked. But even though they may not necessarily lay roots with one person at a time or feel comfortable with just laying roots with one person at a time, they still like to be in constant communication with. So these are the people, two ladies, if your man got Gemini on the descendant soon, you need to watch. These with phone with their exes and shit. You know. You know. Mhm. You know. Yeah, I think I will do a video on it. You ain't fucking no friend, man. I ain't ever fucked nobody's friends. I mean, nobody's friends. Well, I have fucked some friends now. Who am I kidding? But I meant to say, like, I ain't never fucked my friends, man. Like, first of all, me and my friends don't have the same taste in niggas. Like, let's start there. I mean, but then, of course, the fact that I couldn't bring myself to do that if I really care about you. I don't have that many, close friends anyway, but I don't see myself doing no shit like that to them. But even if I was that type of person, that I just don't see the environment for that to happen because we be liking different types of niggas. I'd be like, girl, ew. And they be looking at me like, girl, ew. So I just be whatever. Now I did fuck some cousins. So basically, and hear me out, hear me out. It's a mini story time. It ain't even really that much to it. But basically I was dating a dude. We're gonna call him Rondo. I was dating Rondo. And I think I told y'all about Rondo the barber. He was a whore. Okay, but he lived in the town that I went to college in. And, we dated whatever, about 3, 4 months, whatever. It didn't work out. So I'm back. I'm back to the streets. Okay. I'm back in the streets. And I go to this birthday party That's crazy because I met him at a birthday party too. But I go to this other birthday party and I meet this Leo. Oh my god. Blech. I just get blech. It was actually his birthday. I still remember. And his name was Lionel. We're gonna call him Lionel. And Lionel was like really cute to me. And I was like, okay, Lionel. And he was like, oh, it's my birthday, but I feel like God gave Leo men can be really charming. I will say that. Okay, I got my Chiron in Leo, so Leo's just irked me, but he was very charming. Very they Leo men know how to lay it on thick, baby. He was like, I feel like God gave you to me, like, you know what I'm saying, for my birthday. Like I really enjoyed meeting you. And next thing you know, we texting, and this is when Frank Ocean Channel Orange had first came out, and he used to send me like, little quotes and lyrics from you know Sierra Leone. Like it was a vibe. And one night we were sitting on his couch and we had already fucked. Okay, we had been seeing each other for about a month at this point. And we just laid up talking and we started talking about our dating history and stuff. And so he's like, yeah, have you dated any guys out here? And I'm like, yeah, well, we get on Rondo. And he's like, Rondo? You mean Rondo? What was we gonna say his last name? Let's say Rondo Cruz. He was like, Rondo Cruz? I said, how you know Rondo Cruz? He was like, bro, that's my cousin. I said, oh, and it was like, boy, what the fuck? And I mean, it didn't stop there. I mean, I suspect that suspect, I suspect that he hit up Rondo after that because Rondo didn't confront me about it. But I don't know. It was just I don't know. I was like, this. I still like we still fuck, but like I feel like that's why we didn't get no serious. Like we didn't get more serious. I feel like I felt the energy shift in the sense that he mentally kind of wrote me off in terms of maybe this being something serious. You get what I'm saying? So like she's not going to be my forever home. But we kept vibing, and then that ran its course after a while. My sound effects. It was the cousin. I said, "Damn, I knew that dick felt familiar." Doo-doo-doo. Keep it in the family. Keep it in the family. Some Leo men are very sexy. They play my yes, yeah. I agree. I agree. The child, like I said, the childish. Aside from him, right? I've only been around one Leo man, and that was a horrible. Actually, I take that back. I take that back. I've had two more experiences with Leo men. I already told a story about the childish Leo that I used to. I didn't even really date him. He was just annoying. Like the one where we would be at a kickback and his friends would be talking to me and he would get to arguing with his friends because he wanted my attention or he would get so mad. Like you would have thought I was his girlfriend. Like we was not even talk, barely talking, like exchange numbers. Like he had expressed interest in me and I'm trying to give everybody conversation. He would say shit like, bro, you see me trying to talk to her. Hey, bro. Hey, like he was that friend that niggas be talking about, like that friend who be doing the most when females come around. Like he was when he gave those vibes. And he was older than me. That's the gag. And he was so childish. Like he would throw like how children throw temper tantrums. That's how Leos do. Like when they do dark sided Leos who don't get their way will throw temper tantrums and what like that's how he would do. Like he would just well, man, you was talking to that other nigga. You weren't even talking to me. You was paying that nigga more attention than you was paying me. I'm like, whoa, you're doing too much. There was him, and then there was this other Leo dude who was like really hypersexual. And it kind of bothered me because you too friendly to everybody. Like we knew a lot of the same people, And normally I don't really care what a nigga do, but you're not gonna be that friendly and I fuck with you and all the bitches be like, oh yeah, like yeah, Megan nigga was in my DMs. That not me, not I set the mouse. That nigga was just really friendly and just very hypersexual. And I have a theory that it's to overcompensate for the fact that he was a lame when we was in school. So I couldn't really get with it. And Leos can be hypersexual. What's in your seventh house? And what's in your fit? Well, what's your ascendant sign? Leo moons are the one. Yeah, Leo moons can be pretty bad. Libra moon, yeah, that's pretty gross. Leo moon man like a magnet. I hate all of them though. People who just join gonna think you mean fucking your own cousins. Oh Lord, no. Even though I'm not gonna lie, when I was little, I used to play house with my cousins. And that's so funny. I was looking at a TikTok about that when people was talking about because I mean I got Gemini in the eighth house. I'm not even gonna hold you. When I was a kid, we used to play house and we used to be hunching. How many of y'all can recall that? That's very dark sided Gemini. Like fucking your cousins. If you got your Mars and Gemini, Gemini in the eighth house, like Mercury opposing Pluto. Not to mention, I was, what do you call it? I can't even say the word on this live stream without getting, um, dinged, but assaulted. Let's put it like that by a cousin too. So I've had some really dark experiences with cousins in the past, like as a child. Oh, they were your cousins were younger than you. You got Gemini in the eighth. We didn't full on have sex. Hunched. Well, yeah, that's more so what I was speaking to. Like as children. Oh yeah, I did a reading on Kodak Black and that whole situation with him grabbing his mama booty. It's on my Patreon. Y'all check that out if you're a part of the Patreon family. But yes, to your point, yes, he's definitely a dark sided Gemini, and he does have some weird incestuous vibes going on. He is. Y'all saw how he was grabbing his mama booty. I said, see, cringe. Yesterday, so I'm just over. You know how I feel, Brie. I'm over the '90s nostalgia. I'm over it. Like as a '90s baby, my goddamn self. Okay, I was right in the thick of it. Right in the thick of it. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. Like I love to. Like don't get me wrong. Obviously, I'm a Capricorn North though. Nostalgia, especially when it comes to television shows, shit. I got and I think that's a part of it too. Like for us millennials and those who have Neptune and Capricorn, like we're so like we need throwback cartoons and throwback shows and throwback music that reflects certain periods of time and the good old that. I get it, but it's time for some more creativity. Like we have to do something different because y'all getting on my damn nerves with that. Kodak probably feels the same way. R. Kelly feels for his mama, child. His mama crazy because she should have slapped the piss out of him. Mm. I got my theories on that. I'm a guy being Aquarius, Sun, Cancer, Moon, Leo rising. I just try to be the best self, playing sports in the gym. Red flag descendants. I don't like that Pisces on the descendant. So like Virgo ascendants. I'm sorry. I don't like the type of relationships Virgo ascendants be having. Um, I don't like. They really be the worst ones to me. Um, I don't really like the type of relationships Capricorn ascendants be having either. Personally, um, it just be having Cancer on the descendant is exhausting in my opinion because you attract people who need too much. Like a lot of your relationships, like the whole like people who need so much reassurance and clinginess, and I just don't like stuff like that. Me personally, but I'm also a Cancer South though, so I'm biased. I try to stay very far away from Cancers if I can help it. Don't walk away, boy. My love won't hurt you. Chloe is supposedly a Virgo rising. She's also a Virgo North Node too. That's why I think she's a Virgo. Yep, and Beyonce's son is conjunct her North Node. That's why it's like Beyonce is grooming her to be the next version of her, and she's so easily programmable. She ain't got no originality whatsoever. I'm straight on her. It's not even that she not talented. Like her and her sister are talented. But number one, I didn't really follow them when they was kids. Like like it's not like I said, it's not that they're not talented. I'm not gonna say that. It's just everything not for everybody. They just not my vibe. Oh, we sing like this. We sing like this. They sound so classy and classically trained. That's why when she started singing about booty so big, oh Lord, have mercy. I'm like, girl, you don't even sound right. It's giving trying too hard. And maybe that is a part of who she is, because she does have a lot of I forgot, I gotta go back and look. I guess I'll pull up her chart. Like I think I think she's a Gemini Mars. So it's like, I guess I could see how she can be kind of frisky and stuff like that. But like, or she tries to give off those girl next door vibes. But I be having a hard time buying it. Like it just don't move me. I'm like, girl, okay, girl. Good Lord, have mercy. I'm like, really? Really? That's what we doing. That's what's popping in the street. Working hard is like I do. Working hard is like I do. All this ass up in my jeans, you can get up in between. I can teach you a couple of things. I'm like, girl, it's the chop. Like, girl, go back to playing your piano, singing some ballads, girl. Like, that's not. I don't know. Well, what do I know? What do I know? What do I know? Tell me she don't sound like that. The bitch sound. I don't know why I gave her a British accent, but that's when I hear that song. That's what be like. That's what be happening in my brain. Like that's what I hear, and that's how I look at her. Like one of them girls who like in school, the girl who was like real preppy and like she was real. She was giving you real suburbia preppy girl team, but she wanted to hang out with the hoochie mamas. That's what she give me, like real preppy suburban girl, good girl team. But you want to hang around the hoochie mamas. You like she want to be down with all the birds. Like, but he's so big. Good Lord, have mercy. What are you doing today, girl? I don't know. It just, I don't really. And I mean, like I said, maybe this is who she is on the inside, right? I get it. It just don't translate for me. I be like, you say so. Her booty. I mean, she got a nice body. I ain't gonna hate on that now. She got a nice body. She's a beautiful young woman. I can't take that away from her. If she do got her butt done, is ain't nothing wrong with some good girl. The only person that's worked for is Rihanna, by the way. Like the good girl gone bad thing, in my opinion, right? Um, but you cannot be talking to me like you finna go for tea with the queen, talking about some but it's so big. Lord, have mercy. Like I don't know. It's really a marketing issue when you think about it. Because like I said, maybe this is deep inside who she's always wanted to be, but because of her, what do you call it? Like having a sister, y'all being child stars and or being on social media and being visible at a young age and you feel like you're in a box. Then once you turn 22, 23, you want to be your real self or quote unquote, you grow and you change and like I that's not unfathomable. Like I can understand that, but like I said, it's really a marketing issue. Like the way that she's being marketed in her, good girl going bad era. I feel like it could be better. It could be a lot better from like the song, from the singles to the even when she wear clothes like I said, I listen. I have no problem with nudity. I have no problem with being scantily clad. I have no problem with you wanting to show it all and bear all the goods to the world. It just be looking extra on her. Like I said, it's just one of those things where some women can, I guess, get away with it, and others just be looking goofy as hell. She be looking goofy. She looks like she. You know what it is, y'all. Okay, this is what it is. She's a very beautiful and attractive and appealing girl or a young woman, I should say, but she does not have any sex appeal. And that's a part of it too. Like you don't, which is different. You could be attractive and not have sex appeal, and so you have this attractive young woman who most people knew as a girl, which is already kind of creepy, and then you're, I don't know. It gives little girl playing dress up vibes. Little girl playing dress up vibes to me. Like you playing in your mama closet. Rihanna, you're right. Rihanna was able to play that shit off with all of that Aries energy she got, right? That Aries moon and sun. That's very like good girl gone bad. Like, oh, she's so edgy. Like, and she, like, I ain't gonna hold you. Like 2013, 2012, what I'm saying? 2011, 12, 13, 14, Rihanna was in like Bad girl Riri rolling up blunts on niggas' heads with tattoos, smoking weed with her breast out on the beach, like middle finger up, doing coke. You know what I'm saying? Off of niggas' nut sacks, like that. It worked for her. Like this shit was like, okay. Chloe, y'all, nah. Sit your cancer ass down somewhere. Sit down. Sit down. Good Lord, have mercy. I think she has sex appeal, but is a classy lingerie type, and she tries too hard to be raunchy. Maybe that's what it is too. And this is that Aquarius era, right? Where like it's like letting it all hang out and all that. So I mean, like everybody, that's just what everybody is and if you notice, celebrities with Aquarius placements are thriving, aka Meg the Stallion, aka Carisha. Because that's their natural state of being. Aquarius, especially dark side Aquarius women, are ratchet as hell anyway. They're unapologetic. They don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let it all hang out, show my ass and my titty. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm gonna do what I want. Controversy queen, tea. Like, but that's not for everybody. That's a formula everybody can't do. Lizzo, all right, she do that thing. Yeah, she has her Mars in Aquarius. Her ass be walking around naked. I'm not gonna hold you. I got my Saturn in my fourth house of Aquarius. I be naked, like at home. Oh my god, you just don't understand. If you're truly my friend, you see me naked. If you enter my house, you will see me naked, and it's not even a sexual thing. Um, I mean, it can be, but not most of the time. It's not even that. It's like we feel comfortable like that. Like we feel at home when we're fully naked. When I like, you know, it is what it is. And point is, I can only imagine having like and I mean technically in my draconic chart, I'm a Aquarius sun, and I could definitely see that too. So I can definitely see how Aquarius like dominance and stuff like that could just real be like just in your face with it, real getting very much like I don't care, like which if I want my titties out, my titties like exhibitionist tea. Butterball naked, Bucky naked. Not walking around with lingerie. I have about 5 to 6 placements in Aquarius. I hate clothes and I love being naked. Come on, Shapely BBW. So you get what I'm saying. Aquarius placements be so allergic to clothes. I agree, Brie. But how come people don't want to give Pisces credit about being mutable? Pisces are more than emotions and tears. Pisces are whatever they call for in that moment, whatever they want to be in that moment, or whatever you want them to be in that moment. I'm not really surprised that Rihanna is a Pisces sun. She actually, I mean, that definitely deals with her makeup line, her lingerie line, her being a model, a fashion queen. All of that is very Pisces. Shit, her being in the music industry is Pisces. So I mean, like her being this like princess darling, like I get it. Um, Shit, her being a crackhead. Let me stop calling that girl a crackhead. Alleged. Let me stop. Hey Riri, you want to do a natal chart reading? You want to book a reading with me? You're not a crackhead. I've been trying to clean up my act so I can start doing readings for celebrities, y'all. So, hey, Bree girl, I love you. Aram pun tong, aram pun ting, aram pun tong. Love you, girl. Love you, babes. Oh, mama, mama, I just shot a man down in Central Station. Front of a big old crowd. Why? Why? Oh. Aquarius element of first. You can't walk in a room without being noticed. Yep, yep, exactly. And sometimes y'all just be doing the most. Like aside from Gemini, Aquarians can be very contrarian. Like if it like it's giving like the counterculture energy. Like if everybody say we finna go to the right, they be like, I'm going to the left because I need to make a statement about the left. Like, okay. Okay. You say so. You saw that, Patricia? I got a ratio like the girl. All them Tinashe stands ate my ass alive. But I stand by what I said. I still feel that way, but they got on my butt, and she responded. So I'm like, damn, girl, you pressed, huh? Girl, what song have you came out with? The last Tinashe song that I heard was "Give Me All That You Got Now." Want you make me cause and I was in college when that song came on. I I love to get on. I love to get to one. When a drink be too strong. When the drink be way too strong. Like, all right, girl. Okay, girl. The drink was strong. We getting on. What's next? Cricket, cricket, cricket. And she does give me like, because they was like, well, Tinashe and Doja Cat make two different types of music, and like, well, duh, bitch. But when we talk about like the glorified, racially ambiguous queen, pop queen, to me, they kind of like one and the same. On that note, they're like, well, Tinashe makes R&B music. Well, excuse me, bitch, because the only songs I heard was pop songs. So point is, I feel like Doja Cat got the career that she always wanted. So faded, I'm on one. The girls are very angry. Y'all are dragging me. I go right here, you go left. All hands on deck. And it's sad because Tinashe's been in the industry for over a decade and Doja just got this guy. Yeah. So do y'all get where I'm coming from with that? Because like the girls is like, fuck you, bitch. Stupid bitch. I was like, well, golly. I was in the corner like, well, and she was like, I forgot what she said, but she reposted my tweet and she was just like, I don't know, I can't even remember, but like if I'm paraphrasing, it was basically so many words like, oh wow, this is like really what people think. Like people are sad, like empathetic, basically. I'm like, girl, get your meerkat manner head ass the fuck on, girl. Don't you got rehearsals to go to or something, girl? Shouldn't you be practicing your two step, huh? Hmm. How's that record deal coming along that the girls say is trash? And the reason why you can't make the music or release the music and do the things you want with your career. Girl, you had all this time in the world and you chose to respond to my little old tweet. You little, I almost said something. Never mind. We're going to stop there. I've been trying to clean up my act, y'all, because I'm going to go mainstream. And I want to be a celebrity astrologer. So I'm practicing being a lot more diplomatic and unproblematic. What's the worst? Rising. I mean, I think that's subjective. It just depends on like, but in my opinion, mm, I'm not gonna hold you. Scorpio ascendants have it pretty tough. You know, they can live very unsettling lives, polarizing lives. She do like American. I want to be Nikki's astrologer too, because the first thing I'm gonna do is clock Kenneth's T. That's the first thing we're gonna do. That's the first thing, and you know she's my set. I got a soft spot for Nikki. I got a soft spot for DMX because they are my sun moon twins. So DMX was a Sag Sun Virgo moon just like me. Nikki's a Sag Sun Virgo moon just like me. So like I feel a space for her in my soul. You get what I'm saying? I feel a space for her in my soul because I feel like I understand. And we both have air risings. She's an Aquarius rising. I'm a Libra rising. I kind of understand. I like it's like I don't necessarily agree with everything she do, but I understand. And then we have inverted nodes because she's a Capricorn South node, but I'm a Capricorn North node. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I am Nicki Minaj. That's basically what I'm saying in so many words. Like I understand. Like I get her. Like I get why she do the shit she do. I don't always agree, but I understand. I don't agree, but I kind of like I be getting it. I'm not a barb, but congratulations, Geneva. Congratulations. Come on, associates in addiction counseling. I love that for you. I love that for you. And you can start your own practice, all that good shit. I love it. Love it. Love it. You go, Gina. You go, girl. I love you too, Rachel. You got Sagittarius out now and Pluto. Sheesh. Do you have like really difficult experiences with people like in other races and stuff, like other cultures? Like, have you had like really bad experiences, like whether it be like traveling somewhere or like maybe dealing with somebody who was of a different religion than you or something like that? I think I would too. Okay, so here's my celebrity lineup, and I'm speaking this into fruition, right? And I know, listen. I want to do a reading. I want to work with Summer Walker, but she's not gonna work with me because I did call her a man. I call her a man. I did. I'm not gonna lie. I did it. I stand by. I stand on my shit. Y'all know me. I stand on my shit. If I said it, I said it. I called her a man in one of my readings, and the reason why I did it was because she has so much masculine energy. Okay, she's an Aries Sun, Mars, South Node, something else. You know what I mean? And y'all can go and check out my Summer Walker reading. This is before she had her baby, and I saw some pictures of her as a child, and she looked like a little boy, and I suspected. Okay, I suspected I suspected that she she was a trans queen, or like that's I thought she was a man before. I'm gonna be honest, or and I did say this too in my video. I said um maybe in a past life she could have been a man. That's another way you can interpret it. I mean, obviously she had a baby. She's not a man. Okay, we get it biologically. But I still stand by the fact that based on her chart, that could have been also representative of some of her past life experiences. But my point is, if I was Summer Walker and I came across that video, I'd be like, bitch, I'm not working with you. So that's why I said I gotta clean up my act when I do these celebrity. I'm gonna still be me. I can't not keep it funky with y'all because that's just me. But I'm trying to find a way to do that, like while not compromising my integrity. You get what I'm saying? Because some celebrities, like if they were to come across the readings that I've done for them on this channel, they would be like, "Bitch, suck my dick." Yeah, like even if I am into that shit, bitch, I'm not going to you. You know? I did. I call her. I call her man several times. Several times. I was like, that is somebody's nigga right there. But I love you, Summer. Summer, I love you. Won't you say my name? Say my name. If you say you want me, it ain't no thing. I love you. Like I love her new song. I'm not even gonna hold you. I love that that bitch away for a reason, no. I mean, transact, guaranteed to beat your ass. Damn it, your ass for a reason, no, reason, no. And everybody's like, I don't like this. Y'all need to get London back on the track, bitch. That's how I know you green as hell and you ain't heard none of her past music. Because the truth be told, her very first piece of work, her first album or mixtape or whatever you want to call it, I think it's called The Last Day of Summer, was everything. And this is before she even got with, or at least before he started producing the bulk of her music, London on the Track. That whole album was chef's kiss from start to finish. No skips. Not one. No skips. And that's the one where Girls Need Love is on and whatnot. No skips. No skips. No skips from beginning to end. No skips. Perfect. That's a perfect body of work, y'all. Y'all know how rare that is? I don't say that often. That is a perfect body of work. London on the Track was nowhere in fucking sight. And actually, I would argue that this last thing that she released with London was not her. It wasn't her best work. It was just London has a sound, obviously, because he's a very prominent, very successful producer who does a lot of work in the industry. So we're accustomed to like a lot of his style and his sound. You know what I mean? Like that mainstream trap rap, mainstream modern R&B sound. We're used to it. And that is what he brought to her. But on her first album, she was serving you all kinds of indie artists. She was serving you indie girl. She was serving you alternative vibes, like R&B, alternative R&B vibes. You know what I mean? She was serving you all of the ingredients that you needed. But when she started dealing with London, he just made it more mainstream and whatever. But why the fuck is y'all acting like that man is God? Like, oh, you need to get back with London on the Track. And it's not even that the song was not a good song. People are just not used to the tempo. Like, and that's how I know I don't trust none of y'all musical opinions because it's not that, oh well, this song just sonically sounds bad. People just wrote it off when they heard a up tempo song. Like, oh, this ain't that. London need to get back on the track. Suck dick. I like that song. It's a good song. Okay? That's the hill I'm willing to die on. It's a good song. Y'all not finna play with Summer. I love SZA music too. She really speaks to the delusion in one's mind. Yeah, she's a Pisces moon, so delusion is correct. I would just never get over that thread where they were talking about how much she lied, like her lying over dumb shit. And that's very Pisces. Like, lying to make yourself seem more interesting than what you really are. That was so crazy to me. Oh, but I love SZA. I mean, I genuinely do love her music. I'm not gonna lie, I do. And she does have an astrologer. SZA, if you're watching this, hey girl. She does have an astrologer, but if you need another one, if you're in the mood for another one, I'm gonna get you all the way together, girl. I'm gonna get you all the way together on the weekend. You like 9 to 5 on the weekend. Oh, make him lose his mind every weekend. You take Wednesday, Thursdays, and just send them my way. I think I got it covered for the weekend. I didn't say Sierra was transgender. I said she was a hermaphrodite. Meaning, and that's the politically incorrect term. Because the girls got mad at me for that. How could you say, mama, that's not what you're supposed to say. So recently I learned the language intersex. Back in my day, we called them hermaphrodites. Intersex, whatever you want to call it. Basically, these are people who were born with both reproductive organs. So you have transgender, completely different conversation. I personally think that she was born with fallopian tubes, eggs, hence why she was even able to have kids. Like she's another one. Clearly, she has kids. I don't think she's a man or was born a man. But there's a lot of intersex people walking around here, and I mean, it's really nobody's business. So I don't really expect the intersex person to be like, "Hey, I'm intersex." But the way it works is sometimes you have parents who just like if you give birth to a child, and the doctor be like, "Oh, they got a penis and some nuts," but this child also has ovaries. You know what I'm saying? Like in the vaginal canal, like some parents pick and choose. Like, okay, well, we wanted a daughter, so we just whatever, or they'll let the child pick whichever one they feel most connected to, and then that's how they shape their identity and their gender. You know what I'm saying around that. Um, that's what Sierra is my point. And that's because she has her Scorpio South Node. She has, oh my God, such a loaded South Node because she's a Scorpio Sun, South Node, Saturn, Venus. Point is, and then she has some other stuff going in her chart. Basically, it could be very indicative of a person who could be born with both sets of genitalia, basically. Long story short. And that's what I think. And it's just so interesting that like when I was a kid, that was the rumor. Like everybody was like, "Oh, she's a hermaphrodite. Oh, she's a hermaphrodite." And I was like, I mean, kids, you don't know what that means, but it's some truth to it. Scorpio deals with surgery. It can also deal with trans. But it could also deal with like depending on what's going on, like what planets are involved and how they're aspecting. It can deal with like the genitalia, affliction to the genitalia and things like that. But it does deal with surgery, incisions. Did you use the TikTok with Rihanna and Nicki Minaj where Rihanna say that their cultures don't like each other? I didn't see that. She said their cultures don't like each other. They say mention Capricorn. I mean, Capricorns can have skin problems. Once again, I got it. I'm a Capricorn North Node, and my skin been fucked up lately. Vegas my astrologer. Watch when I get my money right. I'll be hitting you up. Thank you, boo. I like Mila J too. I remember when she was back in her Well, shit, her and Janae Aiko. I remember when both of them was back in a B2K slash. What was the name of that? What you call it? I can't remember the label. Chris Strokes had TGE or something like that. I remember both of their careers. That's why when it was like when Janae rebranded herself as like this hippie, I was a little taken aback because I remember having a word. Y'all remember the well, I know my viewership, a lot of y'all is young, but if you were a little long in the tooth, you remember those Word Up magazines with B2K and Janae, because Janae used to tour with them. You know what I'm saying? Janae Aiko been in the music business for a very long time. But it's just she took a break for a while because it wasn't going the way she thought it was gonna go. And you know what I'm saying, she started working on music independently and put out some mixtapes in 2013, and that's when she started taking on. And by then she had her baby and she had rebranded as like this, like, oh, I eat yogurt, like I eat, cashew yogurt and I like nam yo I'm peaceful Janae. But in the Word Up magazine that I had of her when I was a kid, they was doing an interview on like, like the interviews with the artists. And they be like, what's your favorite this and your favorite that? And they was like, what's your favorite food? And she was like, barbecue hot wings. And then like years later, she's like, I'm a raw veganist. I'm a raw vegan and I eat air for breakfast and I fast and drink a kelp smoothie at dinner. Not saying people can't change, obviously, but is my point was like seeing her rebrand because she was wearing all of like the hip, you know what I'm saying, like the hip clothes, like it's just the 180. I was like, whoa, like is this the same person? I was shocked. Janae was a ghetto bitch. That's why she be fooling y'all, cause she be singing like this, singing like that. And you think she's so sweet and innocent, she's so petite and little, you know what I mean? So unassuming and just cute. But then when you listen to the shit she be saying, you be like, whoa, like this bitch is wild. She's like she really been like she really been ghetto like for her. That's how I met her. Like that's how I was introduced to her. A little hood chick. Like, what's your favorite food? Barbecue hot wings. You yes and no LOVE for me. Y'all remember that song? If y'all remember that song, that's that throwback Janae. That's before, like I said, she was numb your her red. Yeah, your Janae. She was no more KISS Jimmy. Baby out of sight, out of mind. You wanna be a player, go play. You wanna be a baller, go ball. You would never die. Worry about me. Baby, you and me can't kick it no more. Player. But it was called Girl. That was the group Girl. On Twitter, they mad Janae declared that she's not going to use the N word in her songs because she's not all the way black. Good. Her ass don't need to be using the N word. But if your ass look like Mr. Miyagi, I don't want to hear no fucking nigga come out your mouth. So fine by me. I mean, I like her, but shit, keep that word far away from you. Especially if you lay claim to like your Japanese, Asian side, whatever it is. I'm never fooled by I'm never fooled by the innocent Pisces. Okay, she's a Pisces sun and moon. It's giving like them be the sneakiest ones. Lauren Hill, okay. They said she was cripping. Janae was cripping. Karsna. They said she was cripping. The professional wrestler Bianca Belair is very cool down to earth. I can see myself being friends with her. I find men that at my age that act older and more mature, attractive as fuck. Drink water with lemon for breakfast. She really said that. And I remember her having a baby with Marion's brother. I remember that too. And let's talk about it. Once again, I'm telling my age. Orion. I got his album. I got a nigga that, like, let's talk about it. Orion should have happened musically. He should have been just as big as his brother. And I hate that it didn't happen for him. Because had his rollout been better and had he had a better team supporting him and had Chris Stokes not been trying to pump his booty too, I feel like that nigga would have taken off because his album was good as fuck. Like, we can take it slow, slow, anything you want, whatever's on your mind tonight. Baby girl, come on, where you wanna go? We can take a ride tonight. Anything you want, let me put you on. Gotta make you mine tonight. That was my shit. That was my shit. You got me in a bad way, girl. You got me in a bad way, girl. I don't mind losing, might even let you in. Orion was a vibe, okay? His music was, let me play it. I don't even know if they got that shit copywritten. And he's sexy too. Is Mario on the LGBTQ spectrum? Possibly. He definitely has experienced some sexual trauma. Y'all go check out my Orion reading. But y'all gotta understand, the majority of men are on that spectrum. Like, I would argue the majority of men in general, but especially in the entertainment industry. I don't mind losing, might even let you win. Y'all remember? Y'all don't remember that Orion? Orion was so. Oh my god! That was my shit. I'm in my at the corner by the lake, about to pull up in front of your door to make sure that your body's looking right. You could be wifey material. Hey, uh, and he's sexy too, just like Omarion. Let me tell you something. The way I would all aboard. About to pull up in front of your door. I did. I think I did do. Did I do a raspy reading? Maybe not. I don't know. You could be wifey material. Y'all listen to this masterpiece. This is a masterpiece. Where you wanna go? We could take a ride tonight. Anything you want. Let me put you on. Gotta make it mine tonight. Okay. Oh, got a third. I bet he do got a big old dick. That's very Scorpio too. But I don't know. He does have Saturn conjunct his Scorpio South Node though too. So it's like, but I don't know. That could even just deal with him having some type of issue, like with his dick or something like that. You know what? I think that deals with him being uncircumcised or him having like a painful circumcision. Because I remember when he was on Love and Hip Hop with his baby mama, she was talking about how his dick like a big ass earthworm. And I'm like, ew, that's nasty. And with him having all that Scorpio energy, I know he prone to infections. That's nasty. Yeah. Anything you want. Oh, oh. He kind of does sound like Pleasure P a little bit. Oh no, satisfied. We do freaky things to you. Just don't be. When I think about all the music that I was listening to that I wasn't supposed to be listening to, I'm listening to songs about niggas doing freaky things to your body, and I'm like 12 years old. And I'm like, me do freaky things to you. Even I remember when Pretty Ricky first came out. I had that ringtone, that baby grind on me. Slow, relax your mind and take your time on me. I love you deeper if you cry for me. Now come and sex me till your body get weak. Just grind with me, babe. That song came out when I was in the 8th grade, and I would never forget. I went home. I bought a whole bunch of Word Up magazines. Spectac was my favorite. I don't even know why, because that nigga looked like a fucking salamander with dreads. But he, at the time, you couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't tell me nothing. I cut out all my spectacular posters. And my mom, like I had my little Walkman, and I used to like play a Blue Star CD. And my mom was just like my mom, because I guess they was like a group, so my mama thought they was wholesome. But little did she know I was hunching on the floor, like I was hunching. We was at parties, you know what I'm saying, twerking, getting twerked on, hunching to Pretty Ricky. Like that's just really what it was. Like, can you make it juicy for me? And I can make it juicy for you. You get sweaty for me. Can you get sweaty for me? Oh, oh, I can make it juicy, baby. It's just a G thing. That was my shit. Spectacular was so ugly. I don't know what my deal was. Like I clearly was going through some things. Like I was having a moment. I was just going through some struggle. I don't even know why I thought that nigga was cute. What I major in college? I was a communications major. Communications major. Worked in radio. Yeah, I love Pleasure's voice. In high school, Pretty Ricky was my shit. But I ain't no look. Listen, when I tell you, I was murking that thing. I'm twerking that thing, still stroking that. I was 13 years old, still stroking that thing. I know my mom was like. But then like my 9th grade years when they came out with their second album, and let's talk about it because I feel like yeah, Blue Stars was fine from front to back, but let's talk about another perfect body of work. No skips, no skips, nigga, from start to finish. Pretty Ricky Playhouse album. That's the hill I'm willing to die on. Okay, if you haven't heard it, go listen. Do yourself a favor. Do give yourself what you've been missing because that's probably why you haven't been able to get ahead in life because you haven't really fully heard the Blue Stars album from beginning to finish. Go listen and watch how things start aligning for you in life. You know what I'm saying? Watch how God blesses you. Because that Blue Star, I mean not the Blue Star, the Playhouse album, we can play house, hunch, hunch, lay you on the couch. Hey, baby, just shh, hush, hush. I'ma eat your body out like lunch, lunch. From beginning to end, no skips. No skips. I like it real slow. Start walking through the door, sexing in your trench coat, making love on the stove. That was my shit. That was my shit. And that's the one with Love Like Honey. That was the one with Love Like Honey. Ah, you gotta make that sex cry. You gotta make that sex cry. When I say pleasure was it, the rent was due. You see what I'm saying? Like the next day after they made this album, like the following day. You know, I'm acting like they made the album in one day, but assuming they did, the following day they had to pay rent. So like he put his foot in that. Like Pleasure really, he sang his heart and soul on that whole album from beginning to finish. Okay. They were trying to scrape up portions for the rent. And they succeeded. That album was your desktop screen for the longest. Yes, your love's like honey, sticky and slow. Just drop like raindrops. Girl, I gotta have some love. I wanna stroke you, girl. I wanna do you, yeah. I'm like pleasure. Pleasure. Like I was like, it was outstanding. It was to this day. Okay. I'm 30 years old, and that is a very refined piece of work. If you have not heard that album in its entirety, I'm gonna have to go ahead and call you what you are, which is uncultured. You're uncultured. You don't really understand the way that life works. And I can't really trust your opinion on anything. Good night, Geneva. Good night. He understood the assignment. Like they gave him the syllabus. He sat down. He got the work. He handed in an A plus. It was an A plus, extra credit. Okay, extra credit. Okay, he did what had to be done. And then videos with so like the what was his name, Jay Smooth or something like that. Oh, they now that's some tea. They said he molested his niece, like a toddler. They said he was a pedophile. That's what they said. Maybe I'll do a reading on pleasure now. Listen, all I know is he's a Capricorn, and Capricorns can be Capricorn men specifically, like Capricorn Sun men, can be, look at R. Kelly. I mean, obviously, not all Capricorn men are pedophiles. Is not what I'm saying. But if they have other things in their chart and there's like the right climate, I can see it. I could put it like that. But I would have to. I don't want to say that just yet because I haven't really looked at Pleasure's chart like that, like in depth and stuff like that. Like I don't know. I mean, but the fact that he's not in jail, like, and I mean, yeah, they had some money, but the nigga wasn't R. Kelly with it. Like the nigga wasn't fucking. I don't know. He wasn't. He wasn't. What you call it? Like Bill Cosby or Beyond Reproach. So, um, you know. My point is, like, if he really did that, if he was really like that, I would hope that motherfucker would be rotting in prison or somewhere with his brains blown out. And the fact that he's not, right? YouTube hit real different. YouTube hit real different. Like, but you know what? That it represented. That's exactly what we was doing. We would go to parties and be doing just that. Just like it was, that was YouTube was fun back in its inception. Now YouTube is booty. LeBron James, daddy energy. It must be the receding hairline because that's all I see when I look at him. Can I look at your chart? I can give you a reading if you would like to schedule a reading. Nas and Khalees separately, we can. I'm gonna pull. I guess I can pull up Khalees's chart. I do remember Twerk Team. See, yes, Sierra Promise video. You know I don't want nobody else but you. I remember trying to do like one of the dance moves from that video, and I bust my head on the table at my cousin's house. It was so embarrassing. Let me put y'all on game. Search up Walla Can. Watch all the older videos. Oh, thank you. Pisces, Sun, and Moon's colorist. No. I mean, if they are, I mean, obviously anybody can be colorist, but my point is like it would have to come from something else and not that Pisces, Sun, and Moon. Like it would have to be aspected in a way that can point towards that, or like they would have to have other placements that would support that colorism factor. Because Pisces is typically a sign that deals with like universal love and tolerance and acceptance and merging and things like that. They don't. It doesn't really. Pisces is not a discriminatory sign at all. I can see Pisces one. Yeah, Pisces isn't a colorist sign at all. Now Leo is very can be very discriminatory in terms of like being elitist. Leo can be very elitist, but Leo could also like they can be racist or colorist in the sense that like if you are somebody that they feel like is less than them, and that could be anything. Like I said, that could be from a classism standpoint, it could be from a racism standpoint, it could be from a colorism standpoint. But if they look down on you, or if they feel like you're less than them, then they will treat you away. I still don't know how to braid my hair properly. Shit. I don't either. So I cut my hair back off. BT uncut videos, period. I mean, everybody talk about everybody talk about Nelly Tip Drill, but don't nobody ever talk about Ludacris pussy popping. That's the unsung hero. Pussy popping, head bouncing, pussy popping on the handstand. Boom, 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 boom. Pussy popping. Me and my friends, I remember me and my friends was in Girl Scout. Like my mom enrolled us in Girl Scouts, our parents rather, and we had like a Girl Scout lock-in in the Boys and Girls Club, and we was in the back room watching uncut videos, like pussy popping. Period. They do need to bring it back. I started to do a Ken and De'Ara Sinistry reading a long time ago, but I kind of lost interest because I just know like I watched them, and I ain't gonna hold you. I always thought Ken was fine. Y'all can judge me. A lot of people think he not cute. I think Ken is cute. I think Ken is actually really sexy. Hey Ken, if you're watching that, and have y'all seen the dirty version to the right third? The right third. That's and that's when I realized my same sex attraction. Like that was one of the moments, like one of the defining moments in my the Chingy Right Third video. It was like the one that they showed on like regular television, but then they had like the uncut version where they was in a strip club, and it had like some strippers hunching each other and their titties was out, and I started feeling real tingly on the inside. I'm like, I I feel like I need to masturbate. Like, what is this? I like bitches. Like, I don't. It just it was. I was in the fifth grade. Like, wow. Like, what is that sensation I feel in between my legs and in my butt? Like, that was when I first realized, like, there's something. It's something. It's something going on that I just can't put my finger on. But I like what I'm looking at. I like what I see. Yeah, it was that now that the right there uncut version was nasty. I was like, yeah, like when I say we was watching shit we had no business watching. None whatsoever. It was really ridiculous when you think about it. But who's Amanda Nunes? If you're between the ages of 27 and 30, you were overexposed. Listen, I just we was just I like my friend, her mom was a nurse, and nurses work crazy hours. And I would go over her house, like I would have sleepovers. We would have sleepovers, and she was a latchkey kid because I mean she was the only child. Well, her mom was the only child in that house, and so like it'd be what, let's say 6 o'clock, whatever, in the evening. Her mom bring us some dinner. This would be like a Friday after school. We get out of school, we hang out at the house a little bit with her a little bit. She bring us some dinner. She get dressed. She go to work. The whole time she at work, like that whole overnight shift, we doing all crazy. We was on the hotline, calling chat lines, talking to people, talking to boys, especially because my friend was boy crazy. Um, just being fast. We was being fast, and then watching uncut videos and trying to like act them out and stuff like that, like twerking, like hunching pillows. We was so bad, so bad. Yes, thinking about not the bootleg CDs. Y'all would look at your dad's porn magazines. I came across a video, and to this day, I think it was like a home video. It was like of my, ugh, dare I say it? I think I came across a video of my stepdaddy getting his dick sucked. I'm not gonna hold you. It scarred me. Like it scarred me for it intrigued me in the sense that like I was like, whoa, this is like my first time looking at porn. Cause it was other scenes in it. It was other scenes. It was like two girls fucking. It was like it was giving very 90s tea. Like it was clearly an old home video. But okay, what happened was story time. So what had happened was I was trying to find my TLC tape. I had a TLC tape that I used to like a VHS back in the day, like I said, 27 to 30, the overexposed crowd, we kind of were a little older, so we used to watch VHS tapes. And I couldn't find it. I was like, damn, because it wasn't labeled. It was just like a black tape, and we had moved. So I was like, okay, I went in the garage, and I'm just looking through the box. It's a whole bunch of tapes, like in the box in a big box in the garage. So I'm like, okay, here's a black tape. It ain't got nothing on it. Maybe this is my TLC tape or whatever. So this is like in the morning while everybody had went to work real early, and so I was just like, I don't know, it was just me. So I I went in the living room and I put the tape in, and all I saw was like a bitch going ham. Like she was and I'm like, whoa, like what is this? And then the camera panned up and it was my stepdaddy face, and I said, what the fuck? Like, and then I like kept fast forwarding it, and then that's what it was like different scenes in it and shit. I was like, wow. And so like, you gotta like rewind to the point where you started watching so people won't figure out that you've been watching they shit, the VHS struggles. So that's what I did. And then I put it back. I was like, bro, this shit, like, I'm, I don't know, like, I was kind of intrigued with the fact that I just looked at my stepdad getting his dick sucked. It blew my mind. Like, I was just like, wow, wow. Yes, the girls gonna watch. You saw the DVDs with the big booty. What is it called? Booty Hunters. And then my mama friend recommended I watch it. Nuh-uh, a girl on girl movie when you was a kid. What? Not a nice episode of Euphoria. So many memories, so many unlocked memories. I used to pretend to ride a dick on the bed. What? Used to watch our dad's porn tape and hurry up and rewind it back to where they left it. Not practicing riding on the dick. Do it on the dick. Do girl. We was bad as hell. Like you had like, what the fuck is you? What's to you? And now that I'm an adult and I have a daughter, like she's actually very close to the age I was when me and my friends started doing crazy shit. I just be like, Lord, help me, Lord, help me, Lord. My daughter already be trying to twerk and stuff. She's like, Mom, I want to twerk. I'm a twerking animal. That's what she calls herself. I'm a twerking animal. I'm like twerk, but her twerk don't be real twerk. It be like her swinging her knees together back and forth, like. So it don't really be disturbing me, but I just be like, what am I gonna do with my Gemini Moon child? My eighth house stellium Gemini Moon child. Like I don't know. Cause I needed my ass beat. Yes, it's twerking animal. It's her favorite thing to say. I'm a twerking animal. Or like she went to her dad's house and said, my mom twerks. I'm like, she's obsessed with twerking. Which is interesting because I don't recall letting her watch things with twerking on. Like when she's on her iPad, like I know what she's watching. When she's watching TV, I don't let her. My child don't sit around and just watch bitches shake their ass like that. Nor am I can't even dance like that. So I'm not even the type of bitch just to walk around the house like clapping my cheeks. So I honestly think she got a lot of it from school, which makes sense with her having that Gemini stellium, especially in the eighth house where it could be a lot of bad influences in school, like her classmates and shit like that, maybe even some of her cousins. So like I'm always trying to talk to her, but I'm like, you got these hippos thinking I'm just around the house like twerk, twerk. What's up, baby? Twerk, 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 twerk that ass, twerk, 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 twerk that ass. Like, what the fuck is going on? She's a Scorpio ascendant, so she does have a Gemini stellium in the eighth house. She's a Gemini moon, Mercury, Venus. Help me, Lord. Father God, help me. You love watching porn. I like porn too, but it really can be like an addiction. Like I can see how porn can really fuck up your sense of intimacy, and that's something that I always talk about when it comes to like Pisces placements and stuff like that. Like y'all got to be really, or people even with like, afflicted Neptune energy rather. You know, you just got to be careful because that shit can really fuck up your like your sense of intimacy and what you expect out of people. Because once again, I got Neptune squaring my ascendant and my Venus, so it's like for a long time I thought porn, like what people did in porn, and I think you see this in a lot of boys too, a lot of men, boys, men, young men who don't know no better. Because once again, my child's father, he's a Pisces sun in Venus, like So we both used to do this thing where like when we would have sex, we would try to recreate what we saw in porn. And like sometimes it would be cool, but sometimes like I mean real life, that's just not how life is. So, especially if a nigga is like a Pisces Mars or some shit, or like he has his Mars in opposition to Neptune. Like them the type of niggas who they can even have a hard time getting their dick up, without porn. Um, I mean, it's cool. I don't take any type of moral stance against it. Do what you do, but you know, leaning on that shit too much could handicap you. It's just a phase of a past. Yeah, I hope so. I'm a Gemini moon. I'm Gucci. What's your relationship with your mother like? Most Gemini moons, I mean, aspects matter, but typically most Gemini moons have moms who be like siblings. They moms act like siblings more than they do friends, or they can have very young minded or childish moms. Which I can see how my daughter could perceive me like that as she gets older. Even now, she says stuff to me like, "Mom, you don't act like an adult." Like she's literally told me that before. Because like I play jokes, we'll do pranks, or like when I do act like a sibling sometimes, or a lot of times. I'll be honest. Like how like siblings bug you, like they mimic you and they mock you. Like I love doing that. Like when she say something, like if she say uh hello, I'll be like hello. Like everything she say, I'll mimic. And she's like, oh mom, you don't act like a mom. And she would get so frustrated. Like I get on her nerves. I'm like, girl, be quiet. Or like one time she told me I was her sister. And I'm like, yeah, negative. But that's very Gemini moon, like having a mom where it's like, oh, yeah, you're my mom, but you act more like, and her moon is conjoined to Venus. So I can tell too, like when she gets older, that's just kind of the relationship that we'll have. Like, and we'll probably argue a lot, but we'll probably talk a lot. That type, like join at the hip. I'm that mama, like when her friends, they be like, your mama is so fun. Your mama's so much fun. Your mama's so cool. She like, y'all, please, please do not entertain her and her bullshit. Please don't entertain my mama. I be like, hey, where the party at? Yeah, where the party at? I can't forget about my love. And all my girls, yeah. What y'all doing? What y'all drinking on tonight? Where we going tonight? Turn up, turn up. Uh. Showing my Meg the Stallion knees. Your moon is quincunx Venus. That's kind of tricky, especially when it comes to like your relationship with your mom. Your mom is embarrassing to you, like this. The Sag moons, are childish as fuck. They never grow up. It doesn't matter how cool you are, your children will lucky be embarrassed. Yeah, it's starting like now. Like I said, my daughter is 7, and in the morning when I drop her off at school, I be playing all the classics, right? I be playing like all the NBA YoungBoy. I be playing all the Drake. I just be playing. I be having the tune, like the tune. And so and that's very Gemini moon conjoined the Venus, right? Think about like spending a lot of time in the car with your mom, listening to music, especially with that Venus element. And like, I like to dance. And that's actually really Sagittarius too. But my Mercury deals with cars. I have my Mercury in my third house of Sagittarius. So like when I'm in the car, I love to dance, like sing music, like I be jigging, I be dancing, I be hanging out the window, like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, and one morning Maddie was just like, Ma, stop. Stop it. I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, people see you. Could you stop? It's embarrassing me. I'm like, girl, really? So I can see her. I can only imagine like what she's gonna be like when she turns 17. I know I'm gonna get on her nerves so bad. So bad. And I can't really relate because my mom was really old school. And maybe that's like a little bit of my trauma. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I grew up with a very strict mother. Like my mother was very strict, very like old school Capricorn, vibes. So I always viewed my mom like as a sergeant, like a military figure, like you know what I mean? And I always promised myself like if I ever had kids on my own, I wouldn't be like that. I mean, obviously children need discipline and we can have that whole conversation. That's a separate conversation to have, but I don't know. Like, and that's just my personality in general. Like I'm not a really big disciplinarian, which is probably why I do have Capricorn on the North Node, because I need to learn how to develop a lot more of those qualities. Because if I'm just living in my natural default mode of operation, I'm a very like not anything goes kind of parent, but I just don't like that. Like I'm just not. I gotta force myself to be like that. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know. Like I'm just I don't know how to position myself as an authority figure over nobody. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Um, and that can be an issue too, because especially if you have a certain type of kid. My child's an Aries South Node, so she's very headstrong. So like she's going to challenge you. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to do that. I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you push me, now Mike Turner. Now I gotta slap bitches. Like now why I gotta be like that? But I rather not be. Most of the time I just like I don't like being that authority figure. I'd rather be your friend, which I know people gonna critique and be like, yes, that's the problem with y'all now. That's why your kids is off the chain. You don't need to be nobody. You need to be their parent and not their friend. Yeah, whatever. How a Libra South knows. You mean like as parents or like in general? My mom feels is she had me younger than she wanted. She was, yeah, that too. Sheltering. I have a good relationship with her. Lots of people think that she's my older sister's look, and that's another thing too. Well, I mean, that's that Mercury influence where it's like having like a youthful mother, and it can translate into looks. But I noticed that with Gemini, it's more so like in the mind. But I guess some Gemini moons could also have very young looking moms. But Virgo moons, I'm a Virgo moon. I'm not saying it just because she's my mama. I put this on soul, on everything I love. My mama is 52 and she looks like she may be like 37. You know what I mean? Like my mama look like she in her like late 30s. You know what I'm saying? Late 30s at best. Like at most. So and I've always gotten like this very like Virgo moon. A lot of Virgo moons be having really young moms, like very young. Even though my mom is very old school in demeanor and the way she act, I will say like the way my mama looked when I was little, my mama still looks like that. My mama has aged, and if I inherit those genes, I will be ever more grateful. You know, ever more grateful. That would be beautiful. Like it was so crazy that when I had my daughter, like I was like what 22 when I had my daughter. When I had my daughter and I was in the hospital, like the nurses was acting like I was a teen mom because of how young my mama looked. It was like, oh, wow, like okay, well, is she gonna be able to finish school? Like, is she gonna like? They thought I was at high school or middle school. Well, maybe not middle school. My big ass is like I was in middle school. But point is, they did not realize that my mama had a 22, like a grown ass daughter. Like they thought it was on some like other shit. Or like when she'll have my daughter and go places, people just assume that that's her kid. like, "Oh, your daughter." Like, and my mom was like, "This is my granddaughter." And they'd be like, "You have grandchildren? Like, you got kids who old enough to fucking have kids, bro?" People don't be believing that. My mama looked very young. Yeah, Virgo is one of the signs of youth. And then my dad is my biological dad is a Virgo. He looks good for his age. So I'm like, listen, all I gotta do is stay away from crack and heroin and drink water. You know what I'm saying? Cut back on the fast food. I'm good. I'm in there. Exercise, drink a kelp smoothie once a day, like I'm Janae Ayako and Summer Walker, and I'm straight. No wrinkles, like yeah, perfectly. You know, some good examples of like some youthful looking Virgos that everybody may know. Lorenz Tate. He's a good example of a youthful Virgo. He's a really good example of that. That we like that nigga literally looks the same. Like Lorenz, like he look a little different, but like it don't look like older different. It just look like I don't know, like he still looks very much young. He's still giving you everything that he gave you in the 90s physically. Another one is Ludacris. He's a Virgo. Ludacris looks really good. Ludacris is aging very well. I'm not gonna hold you. I know Lorenz Tate fine. Zendaya. I mean, we talking about like when I say youthful, I mean people who are like over the age of 40 and still look like they may be in their late 20s or something like that. Zendaya is still she's still a youth, so of course she's youthful. Nah, not Nas look Nas is an alcoholic. You can tell, and alcohol it does age you. Like if you overindulge consistently, years and years at a time, like that shit will start to wear on your body. Like Nas look old. I'm not gonna hold you. Spectacular, a Virgo. Okay, I can see that. Am I doing readings right now? No, not right now. I'm kind of drunk right now. It wouldn't be right. Well, yeah, you can add Beyonce in there too. She does look good. Nas hanging on by a thread and a prayer. Like Nas, let me look at some. Let me share my screen. Cause like not back in the day, Nas was sexy. Like 90s Nas, sexy, finger licking good, fall off the bone, tenderoni. But today, Nas, nah, that shit catching up with his ass. I mean, he's not ugly. He's still not no ugly old man, but or he don't look crazy, but he just you can tell he's aged like very, very visibly. Very visible. It's very, very visible. Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Good night, Matt. Good night, Nola. Y'all see? Like he's not ugly. He don't look bad, but he just I wouldn't I wouldn't compare him to the Virgo where you'd be like, oh my gosh, like I would have never thought that they were. These are older pictures, so of course he don't look as old here. Wrong Nas. Wrong Nas. But yeah, Nas definitely looks like he done aged. You might win some, but you really lost. And why do all, well, is this for the festival, that earpiece? Because I was going to say, why do all old niggas be wearing Bluetooth pieces in their ears? When it's all done, did you really gain from? Method Man, yeah, he's a Pisces, but he's aging well too. Yeah, he's actually a Cancer Mars, so that has a lot to do with his round face. It also got to do with him beating bitches up too, and everybody act like oh, we don't believe him. Like nigga, just because that's your favorite rapper, do not mean he do not beat bitches. And I wholeheartedly believe that. Wait a minute, no, he's not a Cancer Mars. I'll take that back. That's Khalees, but he's a Aries moon, or he may be he got something going on. Point is, take my word. I'll do an upload on his chart, a video. To just take my word for it, guys. He beats women. I can assure you that or at least at the very least he has in the past. Yeah. Now this is not to say Khalees isn't, like Khalees is innocent, but yeah. He has his Mars. Okay, yeah, that's why I say I'm getting him mixed up with Khalees. Khalees is a Cancer Mars. But my point being, okay, and if you want to be honest, I think his Aries moon is squaring her Cancer Mars, which reinforces him beating the shit out of her, and there being domestic violence disputes between them. But it's neither here nor there. I'm talking about Nas, not Method Man. Yeah, I heard that he got stomach cancer. I'm like, damn. But Sagittarius Mars can also have really bad tempers too, though. The mutable Mars placements be something else, and that could deal with him doing a lot of drinking, and especially if it's squaring his Virgo sun, where it could point towards all his excessive drinking being really damaging to his health. He the type of nigga that'll fuck up his heart or fuck up his liver or something like that over time. Mm. Oh yeah, Foxy Brown is a Virgo. Mars and Sag is definitely promiscuous. Hmm. Superhead, she's another one. She looked real good too. She's a Virgo. Superhead invaded his hotel huh? To lay bare ass naked in the tub, and he was mad as fuck because he was married. But I bet he still fucked though. Ludacris can't get shit. It's just he's so disgusting. He's another one of these like really colorist uh celebrities to me that I just can't get jiggy with. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the live because I'm getting tired. I'm gonna lay down. I've been drinking watermelon So now I'm ready to lay the foot in. I'm sad. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. Thank you. Thank you. And I will holler at y'all later. Y'all enjoy your week. Be your best. Do your best. Okay. And happy Scorpio season. I meant to mention that as well. And yeah, I'll holler at y'all in the next video.